When you open your eyes each morning, what's the very first thing you do? Do you grab your phone and start scrolling, letting notifications, emails, and headlines flood your mind before you've even taken a deep breath? If that sounds familiar, you've already handed away your power before the day even begins. Most people live like this, waking up and surrendering their clarity to the noise of the outside world. From the very first moment, they're no longer in control, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. But the truth is, there's another way. A rare 1% of people start their mornings with absolute intention. They don't reach for their phones, they don't rush, they don't react. They choose silence, presence, and clarity. They don't wake up into chaos, they wake up into command. And because they command the morning, they command the day.
Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." Yet so few live this truth. Why? Because they've forgotten something vital. The morning is your kingdom. You either rule it or you surrender it. Those who surrender their mornings to distraction, emotion, and chaos end up chasing the day. But those who claim their mornings, who choose discipline over disorder, begin to lead their emotions, their decisions, and eventually their lives. This is your invitation to join that 1%, not because you're better than anyone else, but because you refuse to keep living below your potential. The ancient Stoics didn't wake up hoping for motivation. They woke up prepared. They didn't ask, "What will today give me?" They asked, "What can I give to today?" And that's exactly what we're going to explore in this video, 7 Stoic Morning Secrets.
These aren't trendy life hacks or surface level tips. They are timeless mental, emotional, and spiritual principles that can transform your mornings into sacred ground and make your life unshakable. Stay with me because each secret builds on the last. By the end, you'll see why your morning isn't just a time of day, it's the foundation of your freedom. Drop this affirmation in the comments: I control my morning. I control my life. Like this video, share it with someone who needs this message, and if you're new here, subscribe and turn on notifications. Let's begin. Secret number 1. Wake up with discipline, not motivation. On Stoicism Breath. Most people wake up and say, if I feel like it, I'll get up early. If I'm in the mood, I'll work out, meditate, or plan. But here's the truth: a Stoic doesn't wait for feelings. The Stoic acts regardless of mood. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations at Dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. It sounds simple, but it's a profound reminder. Life isn't meant to be slept through. It's meant to be lived fully engaged. That's why the first secret of the 1% is this: they wake up with discipline, not motivation. No debates, no snooze button negotiations, no excuses. They just rise. Why does this matter? Because your very first decision each morning is a vote for the person you're becoming. Hit snooze and you cast a vote for your weaker self. Rise on time and you cast a vote for strength. Every morning you're not just waking up, you're shaping identity. And Stoicism is built on this principle: identity-based living. You don't wait to feel like a disciplined person. You prove it by acting like one, especially when it's hard. Over time, this practice builds inner gravity. Your mind becomes stronger than your mood. Your body learns to obey your mind. Your energy follows your will. Even on days when you're tired, anxious, or unmotivated, you rise because you said you would. And that consistency builds the rarest kind of power: self-trust. Once you trust yourself, your strength multiplies. So how do you start? Set a consistent wake-up time and protect it like your life depends on it. Never hit snooze, not even once. When the alarm rings, stand up immediately. That single motion sends a command to your body: we move now. Say something powerful out loud. It could be as simple as, let's go, the day is mine. If you can defeat the soft voice in your head at 5 a.m., you can defeat it anywhere. And when you step into the world, you've already won your first battle while most people are still asleep. Your mornings don't need to be fancy, they need to be consistent. Remember this: you don't rise because you feel like it. You rise because it's who you are. Drop this truth into your heart. Discipline is my alarm clock. Now, the second secret of the Stoic morning: win the first hour in silence. Ask yourself when you wake up, who's in control, you or your phone? Most people roll over and let notifications, emails, and other people's chaos hijack their mind before their feet even touch the ground. And just like that, the day is already lost. But the ones who move differently begin with quiet. No music, no messages, no distractions. just silence. Epictetus once said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid with regard to external things. Don't worry if silence feels strange. Don't worry if you feel like you're falling behind. That silence is where your strength begins. Your mind is soft in the morning, open and absorbent. Whatever you feed it first will set the tone for the entire day. Fill it with noise and you carry chaos with you. Fill it with calm and you carry clarity."
Even 10 minutes of stillness gives your brain space to reset, breathe, and focus. The most grounded people in the world begin not by rushing, but by sitting still, closing their eyes, and simply breathing. They let their thoughts arise, but don't chase them. They ask questions like, what energy do I want to carry today? What would the best version of me do this morning? This is the Stoic principle of prohairesis, your inner freedom, your ability to choose your response no matter what the world throws at you. And it starts with silence. On Stoicism Breath, the practice of silence becomes more than just a pause, it becomes a weapon. Close your eyes, feel your breath, notice your thoughts but don't chase them.
Instead, ask yourself simple but powerful questions. What energy do I want to carry today? What would the best version of me choose to do this morning? This is what the Stoics called prohairesis, your inner freedom, the ability to choose your response no matter what life throws your way. Try it tomorrow. Before you grab your phone, before the noise of the world pulls you in, just sit still. Don't do anything. Just be with yourself. Over time, you'll notice a shift. You'll become less reactive, more creative, more grounded. Even when the day turns chaotic, you'll move through it like a calm storm because your morning wasn't stolen. You claimed it. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is space, space for answers, for clarity, for strength. And the truth is, real clarity never comes from noise. It always comes from within. Remember this truth: silence gives me control. Now let's move to the third Stoic morning secret: face the day before it starts.
Let's be honest, life rarely goes as planned. You can set up your schedule, your checklist, and your mindset, and still by 9 am it all collapses. Someone says something careless, plans fall apart, traffic holds you back, or a single email ruins your mood. Most people let these moments wreck them, but the Stoic, they expect it. Not because they're negative, but because they're prepared. The ancient Stoics practiced something called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. At first it sounds dark, but it's not about pessimism, it's about strength. By rehearsing difficulties before they come, you strip them of their surprise. Seneca said he robs present ills of their power who has perceived their coming beforehand. If you expect difficulty, it cannot knock you down. You'll handle it like someone who's already lived through it once. The most grounded people in the world don't just stumble through their days, they preview them. They imagine what might go wrong not with panic, but with calm clarity. Maybe someone will interrupt me. Maybe I'll get stuck in traffic. Maybe I'll feel tired or misunderstood. And then they ask, how will I respond when that happens? This is emotional training before the day even begins, like building muscle before the workout. Here's a simple practice. Right after your silent morning, ask yourself, what might challenge me today? What emotions might rise that I'll need to keep in check? How would the best version of me respond? Write it down if you can, or simply rehearse it in your mind. Either way, you walk into the day prepared. So when life does what life always does, you don't freeze. You don't break. You don't react blindly, you respond with wisdom. And that's the heart of Stoicism. It's not about controlling life, it's about controlling yourself within life. That control gives you a calm that feels almost unfair to everyone else. You walk into that meeting centered. You deal with delays without rage. You hear criticism and you don't crumble. You stay cool. And that's your edge. When life delays you, when criticism comes your way, you don't explode, you don't collapse. You stay centered. That's your true power. Not chasing perfection, not faking positivity, but showing up prepared because you grounded yourself before the day even began. That's what gives you the edge. If you're ready to stop living off guard, type this in the comments. I prepare. I do not panic. Number 4, anchor yourself with a Stoic morning reminder. Every great leader, every warrior, every philosopher had a core truth they returned to each morning, a guiding principle, a reminder of who they were. The average person wakes up and forgets. but the Stoic wakes up and remembers. Think of Marcus Aurelius. Every day he wrote in his meditations not to impress anyone but to keep himself grounded. His words were reminders. You have power over your mind, not outside events.
Realize this and you will find strength. That was his anchor, his shield. And here's why it matters every morning your identity is fragile. Before the emails, the deadlines, the opinions. If you don't remind yourself of who you are, the world will decide for you. That's why people with clarity repeat a Stoic truth daily. Not 100 affirmations, just one. A single compass that points them back to themselves. Some examples. I do not control what happens, only how I respond. This day is a gift. I will not waste it in distraction. What matters most today is how I carry myself. I'm not here to please, I'm here to live in truth. Pick one, repeat it out loud, write it down, let it echo inside you. Because when you start the day with clarity, clarity becomes momentum. Your tasks gain purpose, your challenges meet alignment, and instead of getting under pressure, your mind is anchored.
Here's a simple practice tomorrow morning after you wake. Sit still and repeat your Stoic truth 5 to 10 times. Say it with power. Don't just speak it, become it. Over time, that truth becomes your armor. And when life shakes you, it's the reminder that pulls you back to strength. If you don't remind yourself who you are each morning, the world will confuse you. Don't let that happen. Anchor yourself. In fact, drop this affirmation in the comments. I anchor my mind in truth. Number 5. Master your mind before the world enters. Your mind is most open in the first hour after waking. So ask yourself who gets access first. Is it strangers on the internet, news you can't control, opinions that shrink your spirit? The Stoics knew better. Seneca once said a man is as unhappy as he is convinced himself he is. So instead of letting the world define them, they define themselves first, and so can you. Number 5, reflect and journal to master your inner world. This is where the Stoic morning becomes different from everyone else's. After silence and your morning anchor, you take just 5 to 10 minutes to write. Not for social media, not for anyone else, just for you. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? What do I need to release? What can I be grateful for? What virtue will I live by today? Patience, courage, or discipline? You don't need pages of wisdom, just a few honest lines. This practice creates a private space where your thoughts meet truth. It reminds you, I don't have to carry yesterday into today. I don't have to mirror the chaos of the world. I choose my own energy, and something powerful happens. Within days, your mind sharpens. You catch your triggers before they explode. You notice anxiety before it consumes you. You react less, and you choose wiser thoughts faster. That's how Stoics built mental strength. Not by denying their emotions, but by studying them, understanding them, and replacing them with wisdom. This is why the 1% don't just wake up early, they use the morning to do the real work, ruling their inner kingdom. If you don't command your mind, the world will use it against you. You weren't born to be a slave to moods or impulses. You were born to lead your mind like a king leads his kingdom with clarity, patience, and discipline. So in the first minutes of your day, claim your crown. Drop this in the comments, I laid my mind before the world can. Number 6, move the body to activate the mind. A Stoic knows the body and the mind are partners. When the body is lazy, the mind drifts. When the body is strong, the mind sharpens. That's why those who live with clarity never begin the day without moving. Not for perfect abs or Instagram pictures, but because movement is the first act of self-respect. Marcus Aurelius once asked himself, is this what you were made for? To huddle under the blankets and keep warm. It wasn't judgment. It was a call to action. A reminder that the body was made to rise to work, to face the day, not to shrink back into comfort. And here's the truth, you don't need a 2-hour workout to become elite. What you need is momentum. A signal to your brain, we are not here for comfort, we are here to lead. Because movement changes everything instantly. Blood flows, the heart wakes up, your energy rises, and the mental fog fades. The weak part of you, the one that begged for more sleep, starts to die. The Stoics treated physical exertion as training for the soul. Epictetus taught that discipline of the body builds discipline of the mind. That's why your first push-ups, your stretches, even a cold shower aren't about fitness. They're about command. They prove to yourself, I do hard things even when I don't feel like it. That's self-leadership, that's self-mastery. And while most people train for comfort, you train your will. And then people wonder why their lives feel weak.
Here's your challenge every morning. Move your body for just 10 minutes. Stretch, do push-ups, try jumping jacks. Take a silent walk, splash cold water on your face, or step into a cold shower. It doesn't have to be intense, it just has to be deliberate. Because your body is not a side note in this journey. It is your vehicle of discipline. And when you train it each morning, you enter the world already victorious because before breakfast you've conquered something. Drop this in the comments. I move with discipline. I conquer my day. Number 7. Rehearse the person you want to be. The final secret of the 1% isn't just what they do, it's who they become. Every morning before they step into the noise of the world, they mentally rehearse the person they want to be. This isn't pretending, it's intention. The Stoics called it living according to nature, living in alignment with reason, values, and your higher self. Seneca once said, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. And wasting time isn't just scrolling or distractions, it's living without direction, reacting instead of reflecting, being pulled instead of leading. So what do the 1% do each morning? They ask, how would the best version of me show up today? If a camera followed me all day, would I be proud of how I spoke, acted, and carried myself? Where do I need to grow stronger? And how will I face that challenge? This is mental rehearsal. You're not predicting every detail, you're training your identity. Picture yourself walking into work with calm energy. See yourself handling conflict with composure. Imagine choosing patience where you normally snap. Visualize speaking with clarity and confidence. This gives your brain a script, a rehearsal for the real stage of life. So when the test comes, you're ready. Most people absorb the energy around them. The Stoic creates the energy.
They enter chaos and remain calm. They face aggression with strength. They meet fear with action. They don't fake it, they've trained it every single morning. And over time, your identity becomes solid, carved into stone. You become the one who shows up strong, who speaks truth, who moves with purpose. This is how you don't just have better mornings, you build a better life. Because mornings are not just mornings. They shape your mindset, your mood, your momentum, your meaning. If you don't own your mornings, someone else will. If you don't command your thoughts, early chaos will take their place. If you don't discipline yourself before the sun rises, life will, and it won't be kind. The Stoics weren't simply philosophers. They were warriors of the mind. They didn't waste their time or their mornings. They lived with intention, with repetition, reminding themselves daily of what mattered, of who they wanted to be, and of how to carry themselves no matter what the world threw at them. So let's recap the 7 morning secrets of the 1%. 1. Wake up with discipline, not motivation. 2. Win the first hour in silence. 3. Face the day before it starts. 4. Anchor yourself with a stoic morning reminder. 5. Master the mind before the world enters. 6. Move the body to activate the mind. 7. Rehearse the person you want to be. These are not tricks, they are tools of transformation. Don't overwhelm yourself. Start small, but start today. Even one shift in your morning can change the trajectory of your life. You don't need to be perfect, you need to be awake. Truly awake to your values, your actions, your mission. Let today be the last day you wake up like the rest, and the first day you wake up like the 1%. Like this video, share your favourite truth in the comments, send it to someone who needs this, and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom here on Stoicism Breath. Drop this final affirmation in the comments. I wake up like the 1%. I lead my life with Stoic power.